to recap, so I've been running a digital agency for over 10 years now, and part of what we do a lot of website design, development and so on, but a big area that we do is online marketing and engagement with social media on behalf of organisations. So we tend to work quite heavily in the non-profit sector, so we work with UNICEF, Bernard as mentioned, Amnesty International, various organisations, and also in the higher education sector with universities and the public sector as well. And one of the key areas that we work in that's probably relevant for today anyway is that we do help organisations engage with different communities and different networks and different people online in terms of sort of getting their message out there, or being able to, whether that's build relationships or whether it's about sort of promoting the word. So, so for an example of that, we work with the Equality and Human Rights Commission, and this year they recruited a new head of digital last year, and they really wanted to engage with social media and more digitally online, and that's why they recruited this person, Helen Aspel. And part of what they wanted to do the first time this year was to engage with social media around some of their campaigns. So one of the campaigns that we helped them with was Map of Gaps, which for those who don't know what that means, it's about mapping services for women who have experienced violence, whether that's domestic or other forms of crime in terms of violence. And so there's a Map of Gaps website, and the idea behind it is that we would contact various different key influencers online, such as various bloggers, so it could be feminist bloggers, it could be women interest groups, it could be a variety of different groups, and then use those key influencers to actually help promote the message and get that word out there, as well as obviously the more traditional journalism that would happen as well. So, and for that particular campaign, it was around sort of International Women's Day, so we had a sort of an event to work towards. So that's the type of thing I do, my company does rather, and I guess what I wanted to stress on that really is really that there are loads of opportunities to be able to engage with different communities and different niche sort of groups that may not be necessarily accessible in any other way. So that's kind of my ending point.
Okay, thank you, Vicky. Ben, yourself, I mean, the thing is you struggled both. You were there at the beginning in terms of the media engagement, digital technology, as well as traditional media, in terms of newspapers, which is now being seen as a dying force. I mean, do you want to talk about how you engage with both and what the attraction is for you?
Yes, thanks, Joy. Currently, as Joy said, currently I'm editor-at-large of Wired magazine, which is a very large and glossy magazine owned by Condé Nast, who are also known for being the devil and the devil wears Prada. We do Vogue and GQ and Vanity Fair and all those sorts of glossy magazines with a very epitome of mainstream, elitist, glossy media. But over the past 10 years, before I was rung up and asked to do it, I have been working towards taking advantage of the publishing ability of the internet. Freedom of the press, as somebody much cleverer than me once said, really only goes for people who own a press. And over the past 10 or 15 years, a technology has arrived which means that everybody can own a printing press. And certainly over the past 5 years, it means that everybody can own a television station. For a few £100 really, certainly for a credit card's worth of money, you can walk down Tottenham Court Road and buy yourself enough equipment to broadcast live in high definition from the mountains of Afghanistan, or wherever you want to broadcast from, and you can certainly report for a global audience basically for free. And so over the past few years, whether working at the Times, working at the Guardian, working for the BBC, or now for Condé Nast, or for my own projects, my work has been building systems that try and put the means of production and the means of distribution, if you want to get sort of terribly technical about it, into the hands of pretty much anybody who wants it. So in terms of media and diversity, I think the thing that I've been working towards has been equality of opportunity. If you have the the idea, or if you have the desire to go out and to produce media, then the thing that has occurred over the past few years, and the thing that many of us have been working towards, is putting those tools and that opportunity into everybody's hands. What people have done with it, the quality of the work and so on is obviously the distinguishing factor between everybody, and I can't say that my journalism is better than anybody else's, but we have, as a community and myself as an individual, been working towards trying to make it possible for everybody to do their very best.
Wow. Obviously there's different interpretations of diversity depending on the country or who would be among